I decided to do a short little video here on these Dv8 armor fenders just because I haven't been able to find anything online at all. And it's been kind of a pain to get these things on here. But their fitment quality isn't right up to par, but it's pretty close. Everything kind of comes together. This driver's side definitely mounted a lot better than the passenger side did. As you can see, there's still a little bit of a gap back here on this side, which isn't terrible. The passenger side's where the main issue's at, but you're gonna want to start back here on this back bolt. That's the one you're gonna want to put in first, back there in the very back. And then you're gonna come up here to the front. You want to put it in. Then you just kind of work your way back and forth until you get those all sucked down. Because if you don't put this back one in first, you're not going to get it in because it's just too far away from the rib nut that you install. But all the rib nuts that they send with the kit, every single one of them fit perfectly into the factory holes. So it's real simple. Now back to the back fenders. That's where another little issue pops up. Everything else fits except for this one little bolt hole here. That one right there. There's no way to get around behind this one. It's solid all the way around. And there's absolutely zero instructions for this online. So I called Dv8 and asked them what their suggestion was, which I figured more than likely this would be the fix for it. You're gonna drill this one out with an 8mm drill bit, and you're gonna have to go get your own rib nut because they don't send any for this part. You could use a push pin if you wanted to, but I prefer to have them bolted in there so it's a little bit more sturdy. Then you'll stick your rib nut in there. That's the only one that you're gonna have to do. And the driver's side and passenger side is the same way. And when you come back here, if you've got a sport model, your little rear cover here, you're gonna have to come down and cut it out like that in order to get the fender to match up. So you come around to this side. I don't have this one bolted down all the way yet, but I had to come in and I had to cut it straight down that. You'll leave a little bit in order to get that to fit in there right. That's the only way you're gonna get it to fit. Otherwise it leaves too big of a gap. But other than that, the fitment on the rears, minus this little spot, which it may bolt up better once I get through. But everything else seems to be pretty well done. Of course, these fenders, when I got them in, they had the typical shipment issues, so you're really gonna wanna look your fenders over when you get them in. They come really good in the package. I don't know how they really got messed up to that extent, but they spray foam them and everything to ship them. But if you install that M8 rib nut on those two little bolt holes, on this side, I don't know if I can get this camera to focus good enough here. That way I'll let you see it or not. It's right up there. You put one in there. And that'll allow the factory hardware that they sent with it to just screw right in. I'll show you this front footer here. See, on the passenger side, the fitment is definitely not as good as the driver's side. And that's as tight as we can get this without that rib nut starting to mess up or torquing the fender. And see, this side just didn't quite fit down good enough. But what Dv8 told me was some of the different fenders set a little differently, so they leave that out just enough so it works on all of them. Like I said, the driver's side went on just fine, but passenger side's got this gap. They said just pull it back off and bend that over a little bit and you'll be good to go. Of course, that's easier said than done because that back bolt back there, like I said, a pain to get to. I had to have my wife actually get in there because my hands are too fat to fit back there. But overall, the looks and the sturdiness of them seems to be worth the money.